Hi there. Welcome to What Happened This Week, the Enoch Pratt Free Library Current Events Quiz for Kids. I'm your host, Paula Willey. Tune in every Friday for a new news quiz. We'll have 5 multiple choice questions, each one with a hint. Hey, there's no such thing as cheating when it comes to being well informed. You can ask a friend, you can pause the video and Google the question, or you can just hang in there till the end when we tell you the answers. Any of those makes you a winner and makes you a news whiz. So, you ready? Let's get to it. Most places have closed schools and businesses in order to keep coronavirus from spreading. How much has this helped? Has it helped a lot or not at all? Or has it helped a little bit? Has closing school kept people from getting sick? What's your answer? Question 2. According to a report in the New York Times, law enforcement agencies used tear gas on people protesting police violence in nearly 100 cities. What does tear gas do? Does it make you tear your sign up? Does it cause you to tear off running? Does it make you cry? Or does it make you tear down statues? The smoky stuff in this picture from Washington, D.C. is tear gas. People use the term tear gas to talk about a variety of chemicals used for riot control, including pepper spray, CS gas, and mace. But what does it make you do? Question 3. This week, Kathy Sullivan dove 35,810 feet to the deepest part of the ocean. What was she previously known for? Did Kathy Sullivan invent the cell phone? Was she the first American woman to walk in space? Was she the first woman to run for president of the United States? Or does Kathy Sullivan just have a really good singing voice? Here's a picture of Kathy Sullivan at her dive site. I don't know if she's going down or coming up, but she is clearly pretty happy about the whole thing. Ready for question 4? As protests against racism continue to get around the world, which of these statues were removed from public places? Did they take down a statue of King Leopold II of Belgium? Slave owner Robert Milligan? Confederate President Jefferson Davis? Or all of the above? I have a hint for you. And this is that hint. Last question. The Fairfax County, Virginia Animal Control Police were called because a resident spotted an unusual animal. Did that resident see a hummingbird hawk moth, a pink fairy armadillo, a raccoon dog, or an alligator snapping turtle? Bonus points if you can tell me which one of these things are real. Hummingbird hawk moth, pink fairy armadillo, raccoon dog, so fluffy, or alligator snapping turtle. All right, those are your 5 questions. Here are your 5 answers. First answer, most places have closed schools and businesses in order to keep coronavirus from spreading. How much has this helped? Hey man, this has helped a lot. Researchers at the University of California at Berkeley estimated the effect of more than 1,700 local, regional, and national policies for 6 countries. The team analyzed how fast outbreaks were growing daily and compared those rates before governments had set up virus control policy to the rates afterwards. Without those policies deployed, we would have lived through a very different April and May, reports Solomon Sang, a data scientist at UC Berkeley. Overall, his group found lockdowns prevented or delayed some 62 million confirmed COVID-19 cases in the 6 countries surveyed. Stay home, wear your mask, all right? Second answer. Law enforcement agencies used tear gas on people protesting police violence in nearly 100 cities. What does tear gas do? According to the Centers for Disease Control, people exposed to riot control agents may experience some or all of the following symptoms immediately after exposure: runny nose, difficulty swallowing, drooling, shortness of breath, rash, and excessive tearing and burning eyes. Yeah, tear gas makes you cry. According to a report in the New York Times, At least 99 law enforcement agencies, many in large cities, used some form of tear gas against civilians protesting police brutality and racism in recent weeks. This brief period has seen the most widespread use of tear gas against demonstrators since the long years of unrest in the late 1960s and early 70s. This is according to researcher Stuart Schrader of Johns Hopkins University, who studies race and policing. Next answer. This week, Kathy Sullivan dove 35,810 feet to the deepest part of the ocean. What was she previously known for? Yes, she was the first American woman to walk in space. Here's a picture of astronaut Katherine D. Sullivan during her historic extravehicular activity on October 11, 1984. She and astronaut David Leitsma spent 3.5 hours outside the Space Shuttle Challenger demonstrating a system for refueling satellites in orbit. After 2 more space flights, she left NASA in 1993 and became lead scientist at the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration and was appointed Undersecretary of Commerce by President Barack Obama. Yeah, she is the coolest lady you've never heard of. Go Kathy. 4. As protests against racism continued around the world, which of these statues were removed from public places? Yeah, all 3 of these statues were removed from public places. The statue of King Leopold II of Belgium, whose rule of Congo led to the deaths of millions, was removed from a square in Antwerp, Belgium, on Tuesday. Robert Milligan owned 2 sugar plantations and 526 slaves in Jamaica and was a prominent slave trader. The Museum of London said that his statue is part of the ongoing problematic regime of whitewashing history, which disregards the pain of those who are still wrestling with the remnants of the crimes Milligan committed against humanity. Jefferson Davis, born in 1808, was president of the Confederacy and an ardent racist who fiercely defended slavery and opposed civil rights for African Americans even after the Confederacy was defeated. The statue was removed from the Kentucky Capitol building, where Governor Andy Beshear said, "Now every child who walks into their capital feels welcome. Today we took a step forward for the betterment of every single Kentuckian." By the way, Baltimore is way ahead of this movement. City workers removed Baltimore's 4 Confederate monuments in one night in 2017 under orders from then Mayor Catherine Pugh. They're currently stashed in the corner of some city lot somewhere. Last question. The Fairfax County, Virginia Animal Control Police was called because a resident spotted an unusual animal. Oh yeah, somebody saw an alligator snapping turtle walking down the street. The alligator snapping turtle can reach more than 200 pounds, and at 65 pounds, this one is probably just a teenager. It's now at the Virginia Zoo in Norfolk, will hopefully be part of a new exhibit. The alligator snapping turtle is native to river drainages that flow in the Gulf of Mexico, east to Georgia and the Panhandle of Florida, and west to East Texas. This guy looks awful happy to be holding this thing, considering that it face-to-face looks like that. Here's a quick rundown of the other candidates. The hummingbird hawk moth, Macroglossum stellatarum, is an insect that looks and behaves so much like a hummingbird that they are difficult to tell apart from a distance. Not only does the moth flit about like a hummingbird, it even appears to have feathers and a tail, which are actually elongated hairs. It's found year-round in the temperate regions of southern Europe and Asia, but its range extends into northern Africa in the winter. Pink fairy armadillos are the smallest armadillo on Earth. Adults are only about 5 inches long. They live in dry grasslands and sand-filled plains and are native to Argentina. The raccoon dog, Nyctereutes procyonoides, is native to eastern Siberia, northern China, North Vietnam, Korea, and Japan, where he's known as a tanuki and is prominent in folklore. He is neither a raccoon nor a dog, and in fact, the closest relative to the raccoon dog is a fox. And that's our quiz. Thank you for playing. We get our information from authoritative sources like Science News for Students, the Centers for Disease Control, and NASA. Check out their websites for interesting news and fun activities for kids. and tune in next Friday for another edition of What Happened This Week.